Hey everyone, it's me back with another bang of vlog video for you guys. Today we are reacting to NHL 22. Um, talking with the Austin Matthews and the people there. So that's who we were talk. That's what we were watching today. 23 minutes long, and to this time you guys will be hearing audio. Sorry about those other NHL 22 videos. I don't know why I wasn't doing the audio, but now it will be because it's on my Xbox One. YouTube. So, yeah, guys. See you guys in the next one. See you guys later, and I'll react to this video. And yeah, see you guys. Cannot wait. Friday, NHL 22 comes out. For tomorrow, NHL 22 comes out. I cannot wait for NHL 22 to come out. Let's get into this video and let's hear what they say.
Hi, I'm Paul Bissonnette, former NHL hockey player, and conducting today's interview with.
I'm Austin Matthews from the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And we're here to talk about the EA Sports NHL 22 new video game, the next generation. Austin, I guess I'll talk to you about what it feels like to be on the cover for the second time.
It feels just as good as the first, so I'm excited. I think the game's going to be great, and yeah, I'm just pumped to be on the cover again.
A little differentiation. This time you're actually going to be on it with your hockey gear, and there's another version coming out when you're just going to be in street clothes. So I guess that's kind of explains some of the shift in the culture of hockey.
That is
It's
pretty
changing
cool.
up and a little bit more relaxed and looser.
I hope so, yeah. I think hopefully it'll bring a little bit of a new light to the game and kind of showcase the, I guess, the personalities of guys a little bit more, and hopefully that kind of entices more and more people to kind of get into it.
Like going back to even when you were a kid, like how much have you seen how much the game has changed, even from when you were consuming it as a fan to now being involved in the league?
I think growing up, I don't think there was a lot of guys that were in their early teen or early 20s or like late teenage years that were, I guess, playing and making an impact and kind of being kind of bigger than the game. Like, you got Sid and Ovi that kind of came in and they kind of kind of pushed that envelope for sure, just with their play and everything. And now you got a lot of younger guys coming in and making an impact and kind of just showing their personality a little bit more off the ice, and I guess just making hockey a little bit more cool, because I think it's got a little stale there for a bit.
Just like looking forward, do you think it's going to get even crazier with maybe guys wearing different outfits coming to the rink and making it a lot less stale?
Yeah, I hope so. I think, I mean, the NBA would probably be a pretty decent kind of model to go by, in a sense, just the way they've kind of embraced that culture and their players, and guys kind of are their own brand. And as a fan, I know growing up I really like to see all the kind of behind the scenes stuff with guys and kind of almost get to know them without getting to know them, just kind of see what makes them tick and stuff. And I find that stuff pretty interesting, and I think a lot of young kids do too.
So like the individuality aspect of it, of course, hockey's always been very linear. You kind of fall in line with the other guys. When you started doing it a little bit more, did you sense any pushback? Did you feel uncomfortable doing it, or right off the hop you're like, no, this is what I want to do?
I think I knew like it's what I wanted to do, but I think like hockey's always going to come first, so I think for me, like, I just wanted to focus on playing and doing well and get comfortable and make sure like the hockey part's taken care of, and then I think all the other stuff will just kind of fall in line.
Another thing that you did was that
Okay.
before you even got to NHL, that was a little bit outside.
Okay,
the box,
Austin
going to
Matthews.
Europe. And that was kind of a path that not a lot of young players who were about to get drafted took. Now, did you see anyone else do that, or were you the first of its kind to end up taking that leap?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, guys in Europe that like grow up over there are kind of similar-ish, but I think for the most part, guys growing up in North America usually kind of do the junior route or college or CHL. So I don't think I've ever really been one to like go by the book. I think that's kind of like my parents have always, just be yourself, be different, don't be like everybody else. So I think that's always how I've kind of looked at life in general. But when it came to like that hockey decision, I honestly thought it was just the best decision for myself, and I didn't really care if it was kind of out of the norm. It was fun. I had a great time, and I think if I had to do it over again, I definitely would.
Do you think some of that personality was drawn out from going over there? I feel that the Europeans tend to be a little bit more fashionable even.
Yeah.
Is that maybe where you got some of it?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I mean, that's like I was getting paid over there, so I got like finally had money to like, and I was buying like ridiculous stuff. Like, I don't know, I'd never like had money to like go out and buy clothes and stuff. It was all just like whatever. So I definitely probably bought some stuff looking back that I definitely regret, but I mean, it was all fun.
What was the most regrettable purchase throughout your years?
I don't know, probably like a pair of pants or something that like looking back, they're just like so bad, and like I don't know what I was thinking.
Too tight for those
way
massive
too
quads.
Tight, way too tight.
See the bulge?
Yeah, you could see everything, like way too tight. But you live and you learn.
Yeah.
You move on. So, but no, it was an awesome experience.
Do you think you learned any patience from over there? I also find that the Swedes and the Finns tend to be a little bit more patient and calm.
Yeah, they're like super relaxed. I don't like long dinners, so like you go for dinner for like 3 hours, and then you're having an espresso shot afterwards and stuff, and
that's for digestion.
I could never really.
And to stay open for the bar disco.
Yeah, for the bar disco at 12:30 to 6. So yeah, I don't know. I just I'm not like a big like long dinner guy, so that was kind of something I could never really get used to. But they definitely have a lot of patience, and they're always on time over there.
Shifting back over to North America, of course, you made your impact right away getting to the NHL. Let's say for a casual person going to their first NHL experience, what would you want them taking away from an NHL hockey game?
I don't know. I think just like the atmosphere, and like it's like when I started playing golf, that's like when I started watching golf too, because like I had like a really big appreciation for like how hard it was, so I think
Shankopotamus?
Yeah, Shankopotamus. Well, that's more you, but I think just like the appreciation for like honestly like how much skill it takes to like play in the NHL. Like it's fast. Like you were there for a little bit. Like
yeah.
It's fast. Like guys are so good.
I still have a massive appreciation for it because I know how hard it was.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I don't know. I mean, it's hard to kind of take away like when you've never played, but I think it's just like the atmosphere of the game and just how fast it is and how truly like skilled that the guys that are on the ice, like how skilled you have to be to do what we're doing. So I'd probably say that.
From a fan perspective, would you maybe like to see it even a little bit more like European soccer, where maybe they're a little bit?
Well, yeah. So like in Switzerland, that's how it was. Like they chant the whole game. There's like a section where like the fans are standing the whole time, and it's like soccer. They're chanting, and they got all these chants and stuff, and it's unreal. And then like the away team's fans come, and they got their own section, and they're chanting, and then they're fighting, and it's just awesome. And like I've never experienced that. So like when I went over there, it was super eye-opening. Like. I remember I had a really good game. I scored like 2 goals, I think, like kind of back to back quick, and they were like chanting my name, and I was like, holy shit, like this is sick.
This is
like,
big.
Yeah, this is awesome.
This is why I came over to Europe instead of the OHL or college hockey.
Oh, exactly. But
and I don't even got to show up to class.
No class, yeah. Not a fan of school, but I don't know.
What do you think? I mean, we know Canada's got a massive demographic of hockey fans. I think like 70% of hockey fans that tune into playoffs were Canadian. What do you think the United States can do in order to grow the game? Like what other things that we haven't discussed?
Dress code, maybe? I think dress code, and I think it's on the players in the end, right? Like to have the kind of like the willingness to, I guess, put yourself out there a little bit and show your personality and your interests, and like even if people don't like you or people don't agree with you, just like having that base and staying true to yourself. I guess I think that's kind of something that I think the NBA has done a really good job of, even the NFL, MLB a little bit, where they guys kind of are just willing to kind of express themselves. And I mean, hockey's always going to have that culture of like a team sport and like a team game, and it's about the team and it's about winning, but there's some pretty cool guys in the NHL, and for fans to kind of get to know them and stuff, I think that's kind of starts with us, right?
So you go back to the dress code here. What type of things would you like to be wearing into the rink on a regular basis? And I think we saw some of which during the bubble, because they did loosen up the rules, where I saw you in a couple tracksuits, maybe some Gucci loafers.
Yeah, I like to keep it comfortable, so I'd probably wear like some tracksuits, like sweatpants and stuff like that, but like at least make it look like a little classy. But I like to stay pretty comfortable.
What other guys on the team do you think want to open it up like that? You got like William Nylander.
Yeah, Willie Styles. He's got great style, so I know he would love to open it up. And if we did, or when we do, I know he's gonna be at the top of the list for that category, because he's so sweet. He's a good-looking guy. He's got good style. I mean, he's got the hair going and everything. So I'd love to see that. Awesome guy too.
I didn't realize you were a baseball player growing up. So you were a multi-sport athlete. What made you fall more in love with hockey and go the hockey direction?
I think I just like the sport that I really gravitated to. Like, I just really liked watching it, and then when I started playing it, I just really enjoyed it, and it kind of came naturally. But my parents wanted, like my sisters, we played 2 sports, so I picked baseball because my dad played, but I didn't really like it much. It was a little too slow for me, but I enjoyed hitting and stuff. That was pretty much all I was good at anyways. But I think hockey was always just like my passion, and what I had, what I had like a true like love for. So like my parents weren't very surprised when I was like, yeah, I think I want to quit baseball and just focus on hockey.
I'm gonna go make some Skrilla over in Europe, Mom and Dad. I'm done with the baseball thing.
Yeah.
Do you see the game growing more in southern markets and from maybe non-traditional hockey markets?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, like I grew up in, like I'd watch the Coyotes, so I looked up to Shane Doan a lot, right? And then you get guys that, played and they retire, and then they have kids, and then they start coaching and stuff like that. So like I was fortunate, like Claude Lemieux was my coach growing up for a bit. So, I kind of had I was really fortunate because, this guy's Stanley Cups, Conn Smythe, like he's, to be coached by somebody like that and kind of be involved and have somebody to kind of look up to. And I think that's kind of what like kids are looking for, right? So when you got everybody coming from like Canada that's playing in the NHL or like the East Coast, and then now you have a lot of guys that are like from Florida or from Texas, California, Arizona, like more and more guys. And I think that's just one way that it grows, because you got more and more people that are kind of involved, I guess.
Yeah, you're seeing like alumni programs, especially in like Scottsdale, grow because former players are retiring there. They're coaching the kids, as you just mentioned, like Pepe. You're seeing it in Dallas as well as St. Louis. Any other areas you'd like to see it grow in other markets?
I mean, I think you nailed it. I'd love to see Phoenix grow a little bit more. I don't want to see the Coyotes go anywhere. Florida, Texas. I mean, you kind of nailed it. California, obviously. I mean, a lot of really good players. I don't think that gets talked about enough, how many really good players come out of California that end up playing in the NHL. So.
Even for you coming out of the USA Development Program, you're seeing every year more and more players go in the first round from the United States, even to a point where it's catching up to Canada. Maybe not from a viewership standpoint, but do you think that's going to obviously have its trickle-down effect?
Yeah, I hope so, and I think just getting, like I said before, like it's honestly on the players, I think, to grow the game, but it's also like, young guys coming up too that are excited, maybe growing up, in Phoenix, like I was like the only kid that played hockey at my school. Like nobody played hockey. So like that was like weird to me. I was like, I'm the only kid here that plays hockey. Like seriously, like everybody's playing football, basketball, baseball. Like nobody played hockey. So I think like now I don't think that's really the case. I feel like, you're probably gonna get a lot more kids that are actually playing hockey that are interested, because of like there's more programs and more like access to it.
So even for you, do you feel maybe a little bit more added pressure coming from the Phoenix area to continue to try to grow the game there and stick out your neck in order to make it more accessible for people to even, like, for instance, get ice time or even enjoy the game itself?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's even like added pressure. I think it's just like,
you want to do it?
I want to do it because I think it's like, it'll just open up so many doors for so many people. And you played, like hockey's an amazing sport. Like some of the best people I've met are from hockey, obviously, and the more people you talk to that have been around hockey players, like they're a special breed of people, and I think the more and more people kind of realize that, I think the more and more it'll kind of open up doors for hockey to kind of grow.
You got a crystal ball looking forward 5-10 years down the road. Where do you see hockey at?
I hope it progresses quite a bit, and I think it really will. I don't know, I'd like to see it like kind of in a hybrid, I guess, of like, the NBA-ish, and maybe not to that extent, but
reality shows.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but like, I just think it should be like cool. Like people should look at hockey and be like these guys are cool. Like they're like trying to kill each other on the ice, and they're skating around on ice, but like it's like a sweet sport. They got awesome personalities, guys like, you know, dress cool to games, like, you know, it's not like so like stiff, you know, like it's like loose, like let's get loose a little bit.
Do you think that has a lot to do with maybe the guys on top, like the GMs and stuff, wanting to have a little bit more control and not making it more about the individuals? Because like even looking at your situation, I feel like Kyle Dubas is a guy who's more open to change and wants to see this type of stuff. I want to say I even heard you guys playing music in practices at some point, playing some beats.
We bump tunes at practice. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, like I had Lou my first two years, and I have like a tremendous amount of respect for him, and I think he's an amazing GM, amazing guy. Like I couldn't say enough great things about him. But obviously, like he's got his methods and kind of his way of doing things, and I mean I respect it. And you know, Kyle's a little bit different. He's younger, obviously, and I think a little bit more open-minded when it comes to things like outside of hockey, you know, just like how, you know, we can kind of grow our hair. If you want to grow a beard, you know, you can grow a beard and just kind of like
handlebars.
Yeah, handlebars, whatever. Like you can live your life and you can do what like makes you happy, right? And I think that's, in the end, kind of I think translates on the ice too. 'Cause if you're happy and you can kind of just be yourself, that's the best version of yourself, and you know, you can go out there and perform.
I mean, you got quite a bit of ways to go here and many more years to play, but when it's all said and done, what would you want your legacy looking back to be and your imprint on the game of hockey?
Well, first and foremost, like hockey comes first. Like I want to win the Stanley Cup, not just one, and you know, achieve you know, all these things that I've always like wanted to set out and achieve, whether it's individually or as a team. But you know, after that, I think, you know, I talk about it a lot, like with my family or like my agent, who's like one of my best friends, just like kind of being like transcendent in the game, where it's, you know, just not being like everybody else, I guess, you know, just being different and not just following the herd, just kind of paving my own way. And I think that's kind of how I've always done it, and that's kind of how I guess my parents raised me, just to you know, be myself and not really worry about like what everybody else is doing or what everybody else thinks, and just, you know, be yourself and have fun, and you know, don't be a sheep.
All right, we're gonna hop into the X Factors, which is a big component of EA Sports NHL 22, and yours, of course, is the toe drag wrist shot. Where did you learn that? How did that all come about? Where you pull it in, change the angle, and zip it?
Just practice. I've been working with a guy named Daryl Belfry, who he works with a lot of NHL guys, but I think going into my draft year, you know, I'll go down and work with him, and one summer we just literally just worked on my shot, and like every single kind of shot, and I guess the toe drag shot was kind of probably my most efficient one, so that's kind of, I guess, been my kind of thing since I've, I guess, been in the NHL, but it just came about from a lot of practice, I guess, and just kind of messing around with stuff.
So from a fan perspective, take us through when you're coming down the neutral zone, you have that gap between you and the defenseman. What's going through your head as you're coming in on that defender?
Like I just want to make him move. I want to make him like think I'm going one way, and then like I want to take it and go with the other. So like if I'm shooting it, like I want him to think I'm shooting it like here, and then I want to pull it the other way and like change the angle. So it kind of not just messes up the D-man, but also the goalie and stuff like that. So like that's kind of what's going through my head, is like just trying to make him make the first move almost.
Is it because like from a traditional standpoint, it was too easy for defenders just stick on puck if you didn't throw a curveball at them per se?
Yeah, but that, and like just goalies are so good too. Like it's so hard to like honestly score on a goalie. I feel like when you're just like straight at him, like if you just shoot it, like he's like Freddie Anderson's 6'5", like
they got all the angles,
the whole entire net, like in general, like their gear's way too big.
Should we talk about that? Should we take some shots at Gary here?
Yeah, gear's too big, and
so we need to change
get
the
rid
dress
of the
code. We got to change the goalie gear.
Get rid of the knobs. They're knobs. It's yeah.
Look like Mark Stone's knob out there.
Yeah, seriously. No, but goalies are so good now, and they're so big, and so I think that's kind of just been something that I always like try to work on. And Daryl was kind of the guy that brought it, I guess, to my attention, just being able to change angles and get the goalie moving a little bit.
So your X factor ability in the new game is the shock and awe factor. That's going to be yours solely. So there's going to be periods of the game where when you get into that mode, you're essentially going to be unstoppable in the deep to shoot category. Now, in games, like when you're feeling it, is that kind of how it is in real life, where you just feel like you cannot miss?
Yeah, I mean, like when you're hot, like, you know, it's like a different feeling, right? Like
No,
I've
never had that feeling.
Like,
I've never had that feeling, actually. Maybe at the bar, but that's about it.
Oh, just like, you know, it's just like a different feeling. You're like, when you get the puck, you're like, all right, like this shot, like, I don't know, I think it's gonna go in. Like, you know, you don't always have that feeling.
Feels like you had it most of this year.
Yeah, for the most part. I like to think I have that feeling. I try to be like in that mindset, I guess, of like feeling that, but sometimes more than others, I guess.
So the off factor, like when you're in practice, do you sometimes think about the sellies you're going to do that night when you put one in, or they all come off genuine and natural?
I think they just all come off genuine and natural. I think that's stuff like you think about at night when you're like dreaming. You're like, all right, like if I score, like I think I should do this celly, but I don't know. I don't really practice.
So looking back on all your highlights, like do you have one that you resort to where you're like, oh, the whole finish and then also into celly was my best moment? Can you remember that one?
Yeah, I can't, because I actually saw it when I was watching the draft the other day. It was like my second or third year. It was like a wraparound goal against Anaheim at home, and it was just kind of smooth, and I gave it like the caner, you know, like right to the fans. But that one, like, I don't know, I like that one, and I love Kaner. He's like my favorite player to watch, so I think a lot of the stuff that, not just me, but like a lot of guys, you know, kind of come from him, I guess.
The one that sticks out that he did was when he, the heartbreaker, when he got on his knees and he drew the heart and then punched the hole right through
that's
it.
probably my favorite sally of like all time. I think that's like, you can't draw it up any better. I mean, like the one he had in the cup final, like against Philly, like to win the cup is obviously unreal, but just like how smooth
when no one in the building knew he scored it, except for him.
He was like the only guy, but the one against LA, I think that was to send him to the cup final.
Yeah.
Like that's like rock star stuff right there.
If you could improve one part of your game, what would it be?
I mean, I'd love to like skate like McDavid, but I don't know if that's just gonna like happen, so I don't know, I'd like to just be a little bit faster probably. I think you can never go wrong with a little more speed.
Going back to Kaner quickly, there was one game where you guys ended up getting a bit of a riff, and I want to say you were in Chicago where you celebrated a little bit too much in his territory, and then he had a pretty nice rebuttal.
Yeah, that's I'll like remember that game for the rest of my life. Like it was just so fun. Like, and it was like a back and forth game. I think it was like 6-5 or
almost done.
We ended up winning in overtime, but yeah, it was back and forth, and then I scored, and I don't know why I thought about it. It was so loud in there, and I scored, and it got like quiet, so I did this one, and like
you can't taunt. You can't taunt.
I don't think he liked it. So then they pull the goalie, and he scores, and he does like the same thing, and like I was dying laughing on the bench, and then he came by the bench, and he screamed at me, and I think he said like, I don't remember what he said, but it was like something along the lines.
Something you probably can't say right now.
Probably can't say, like maybe like respect your elders or something like that. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I didn't even care. I was like, this is unreal.
Okay, Grandpa.
Like, yeah, I was like, this is so fun. And then I was like, we need to win this game, like, and so we ended up winning in overtime, which is massive because I didn't want to like have to go into media after the game and be like, like this guy, like he did it to me, like
running your show.
Yeah, you're in my show, but no, that was honestly like that game was so fun, and like I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
Sticking with the superstar theme, and I guess we got to move away from Kaner. What other superstars would you be eager to play with if gotten the opportunity?
If gotten the opportunity, I mean, there's so many, like so many good players. Like Cooch, like he's disgusting. Like he's so fun to watch, and he's so crafty, and you know, he's just special. Like McDavid, obviously. Like there's so many guys. Like you can rattle off like 10 names, but no, I mean I don't think you can really go wrong with a lot of those guys because there's
anyone who's gonna dish it to you.
Anybody that's gonna dish their rock.
Not Ovechkin because there's only one puck out there.
I'd play with Ovi. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet too. I mean, he's best goal scorer of all time. I mean, he's the man. But yeah, I mean, there's so many guys to choose from. You really can't go wrong.
All right, that was good fashion talk with Austin Matthews. I don't know why I can't speak his name, but hey guys, hopefully you guys having an amazing day. See you guys in the next video or whatnot. You say it, and yeah, join my Discord server if you guys want to. Tomorrow, you guys, NHL 22 is coming out. I cannot wait, and tomorrow I think I'll be live streaming it. So no, I think it comes out at 11 p.m. So I'm not 100% sure if it does come out at 11 p.m. tomorrow. I have to check what time it does, and if it does come out at 11 p.m., then I can't live stream it until until Saturday's video or live stream, whatever one. So, yeah, guys, have an amazing rest of the day. See you guys in the next one, and I cannot wait for an NHL 22, and hopefully I'll get it tomorrow or today, and then I can pre-order it, and then I can have it waiting for me to play on Friday. So I cannot wait for NHL 22. The graphics look amazing on NHL 22. Just cannot wait for it. So yeah, have an amazing day, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. See y'all in the next one. Peace.